We're checking, folks, back with another reaction, back with some more Erasure, and we're going back to the 1995 self-titled album, and the next track is called Stay With Me. It's a simple enough concept. My immediate take is that it's more long-term, or I would be inclined to think it's more long-term. It could be a stay with me in that, like, hey, I'm gonna go home, and like, hey, you know what, why don't you stay? I feel like it could be a more, immediate type of rendering of the phrase, but yeah, generally it makes me think about a longer term, like, hey, through thick and thin, no matter what happens, stay with me. Let's make this, us versus the world, so to speak, rather than just, passing ships in the night. So I wonder, what scale it'll be on. I imagine there'll be some twists and turns. It won't be so simple as, oh, well, we're just great for each other, and so let's stay together. I imagine it might be more complicated emotionally. I feel like Erasure's one of their hallmarks is complicated emotions, even though they tend to be very passionate at the same time. So let's check it out. This is Erasure, Stay With Me, from the 1995 self-titled album. Delicate Andy bells. It's like a synth-symphony. That's interesting though, stay with me, but I'm gonna set your wheels in motion. Right. Is that multiple endings there? hopefully the same sentiment. Like that little deep bass riff right at the Benny King's like, wait, what? Which seems to be what a lot of Erasure songs are about. Come on, Andy. Something very nostalgic about that keyboard melodic line, and something very appropriate about it being the element to take us out of the track. I love it. It's another one that it's so atmospheric. These tracks on this album are long. They take their time. They're sonically layered. They're they're not like an immediately like catchy, bouncy, foot tapping pop tune. They take a while to, come to full fruition. So, loving the album. I mean, people mentioned in advance that this was probably their most experimental and atmospheric album relative to, other albums, including and maybe especially the album that follows this, which is, perhaps a pendulum swing back to the like catchier, like tighter and more like pop oriented, but I'm loving it. Again, it felt like a synth-symphony. It felt like a synth R&B tune. It also felt like, devotional singing, a couple different like vocal like tracks, and it wasn't just like doubling. Like if it is Andy, it was like two different vocal lines, like not just, the same one doubled or tripled or something. So maybe that was somebody else, but my presumption is it was just Andy, doing a couple different versions of some of the lines and then layering them both in. So once again, shout out to Vince, shout out to Andy, loving this journey, shout out to all the people who have or continue to share Erasure with me, which is a whole bunch of people. So big ups to you all. Let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.